Hey guys, I'm Lightsaber9 and today I'm going to be starting a tutorial series on how to make a top-down 2D RPG in Unreal Engine. Um, I've been working on a few and I've actually uploaded one. It's called Strings of Divinity the Spell Plague. I will leave a link to the Steam page down below. Here it is. I'll also leave the itch.io if that's more your thing, but that's not what this video is about. So let's get started. We're going to create a new project. I'm using 4.26, I think. Um, I'm pretty sure. I made one in 4.24, so anywhere between those, that should be fine. We're just going to do a blank project. We don't need maximum quality. Scalable 2D. We definitely don't need ray tracing. No starter content. And we can keep it on desktop console. Yeah, we're going to do blueprint. We're just going to call this 2D RPG tutorial. Oops. I'm just gonna change my folder. Actually, no, that is the folder I want, yeah. So, might as well let me create the project now. Oh. RPG tutorial. It's weird that you can't start with a number. Okay. First thing we're going to do is make a new folder, call it maps. Oops. And I'm just gonna make this, I'm gonna call this the tutorial map. And we're just going to create a new blank level. We'll just call this tutorial level. This is just, you can name it whatever you want. This is just for me to get everything started. So, first thing we should do is we got to do a little bit of setup here. So maps and modes, I'm just going to turn this to the tutorial level. Oh yeah, we need to make a new game mode and game instance. So I'm just going to make a new blueprints folder. And I'm just going to call this game mode instance. And blueprint class. Go down to more and let's type game mode, get game mode. And let's just I'm going to call this RPG game mode. This is what I call all of mine. As well as in the same fashion, let's bring a game instance. And I'm going to call this RPG game instance. This is just to help us when we need to set up a bunch of variables. So let's set our new game mode and game instance to the proper ones. Packaging we don't necessarily have to worry about. However, I'm going to set it up to, we're going to keep this full. So you're going to want to do share material shader code and shared material native libraries. You can also do the deterministic shader code order, but whenever I've done that, it likes to bug out. It gives me errors. We're just going to do for distribution, and let's go to show advanced. We're going to start with cook only maps, and we're going to do all the ones down here. So exclude movie files, exclude editor content, and create compressed cook packages. And when we're making maps, you're going to want to, right here, list of maps included, you're going to want to, as you make them, put them in here if you can remember. So we're just going to open up our content, and we're going to choose our map. And every time we make a new one, you're going to want to put that in there. And I'm pretty sure that's everything. This is just to help reduce the game size. Because Unreal Engine, is not really optimized for 2D games. Okay. So I'm going to open up Photoshop so we can make a few sprites and things. And I will also leave a link. I'll put all these into a Google Drive that you guys can download. So I'm just going to create a new set of sprites here. We'll start with a tile map. We just need a very basic one. All of my tiles are 16 by 16. So I'm going to make a 32 by 32, which will give us 4 tiles. It's going to make black. I'm going to make red. I'm going to make green. Oops. And then I'm going to make blue. So with this episode, this is just gonna be setup mostly, and maybe we can set up the character. I want you guys to tell me: do you want this to be like a turn-based RPG? Well, I guess we did set it as a turn-based RPG because there are two ways we can go about doing this. We can do like Deltarune, where enemies are on the overworld and they'll chase you, or we can make it like Undertale or like Pokemon, where as you're walking on the ground, enemies will randomly get you. So let me know what you guys would rather see. Maybe I can do both. I'm just gonna make a new folder here. Don't mind the Chris's stuff. Don't worry about that. We're just gonna call this some RPG tutorial. Make a new folder. Call it tile maps, and I'm gonna put this as tutorial tile map. You can keep it as a PSD as well, because with PSDs you can actually go over here, edit this, save it, and then re-import it, which is really nice. Let's make a new folder on Unreal called tile map. Well, it should be tile maps, and I'm just gonna say test tutorial, and then we're gonna import our new tile map from here. Right click and go up to sprite actions, apply paper 2D settings, then create tile set. Let's click on this. Over here we want to set our tile size to be 16 by 16. And I'm just going to add a box up here. So if we do this we can see the collision. I'm going to add a box to the black and blue, so it's like a wall and water. And let's make our tile map now. So create tile map. And I don't know, we can do something pretty basic. Let's say 20 by 20. We'll grab our black and let's make a square around. Just basic wall. Filled in with green. Add our water. And then I don't know, just add red. So why not? There we go. So let's bring this into the world. I always like to put everything at the 000 location. That's personal preference. So now we can start setting up our character. So back in our blueprints, let's make a new folder and call it, I don't know, character. And let's create a blueprint class, paper character. And I'm just going to call this main character. So this already has our movements set up, as well as a sprite automatically in here. So there's a few things we need to do. Under the character movement, we're going to want to set the default land movement mode to flying. I want to go down to flying. Yeah, we're just going to set this to a relatively low number. I'm going to say 50, and the braking deceleration, we want that to be a lot higher, so I'm going to say like 500. I don't think that matters. And we also need to come down here. Under the planar movement, we want to constraint to the plane Y. So that will allow us to move freely on the X and Z axis, which is how we have this set up. This is the X, this is the Z. Just drag our character here, I guess. We're going to scale it down. I actually don't know why we did this. There's no reason. Let's make some sprites. So I'm just going to do very basic paper flip book. Well, I don't know, 8 by 8, right? I'm going to have this be 4 directional as well. So let's just, very basic character. Oh, I know what to do. Yeah. I'm just going to set it up, like I said, very basically. I'm going to call this, I don't know, characters sprite. I'll get the idle and the walking. Because we need 4 directions for this. Well, I guess you only need to make 3, because you can just flip it over if you want, but I'm going to show you how to do all 4. Yeah. So we're going to say idle down because he's facing down. And we'll call this character down idle 1. And then we can just edit this, have him move down like this. Save as idle down 2. I'll go do all the rest of this. You guys don't have to watch. Again, you can just download this in the description, or if you already have yours set up, then just keep watching. Okay, I just finished all of the walking animations, as well as the idle. So let's import that. So let's make a new folder, call it sprites, character, and we're going to make an idle folder and a walking folder. Let's import, where are you? Import the idle first. Oh, right, we need directional too. My bad. So in the idle, we're going to do an up, down, left, and right. So let's just start importing all this stuff. So when we import it, it's going to be the same thing as the tile map. We're going to apply textures, then we're going to create sprite, and lastly we're going to create a flip book. And you can just set the, under the frames per second, we're going to set this to 2, because I think that's a pretty good speed. So I'm going to do all the rest, including the walking animation. Actually, once we get the walking animation, I'll record again to show you. Okay, so we're on to the walking now. Add the walking up. And there's actually 3 of them. And when we create them, we're going to actually need to insert another one to get it to walk properly. Let's just set this to 2. And what we're actually going to do is under keyframes here, we're going to expand it and we're going to add another one. This other one is going to be our walking up number 2. So now it should be more seamless walking. He can be faster than that. Let's say 8. 12. Somehow he still looks like he's walking really slow. 16. I guess that works. I don't know why he looks so slow, but we can just keep it at 16. Unless you want him to walk a lot slower. That's up to you. I imagine, if we're talking about the Among Us guy, I'm pretty sure he walks pretty fast. So just do that with... Oh, wow. Just do that with all of these as well. I'm going to show one more, just in case. Yeah, with this one I actually did only 2. So this one is just going to be the same as the idle animation. Wow, that didn't come out nearly as good as I thought it would. Actually, this one looks like... Wow, yeah, that one came out pretty bad. But it's okay. Yeah, I imagine you guys wouldn't be using this anyways. Alright, I have all the sprites set up. If we just grab our little... Just grab a flip book here. Set the Y value to 1, so he's always 1 layer above. This green is really bright. We're probably gonna want him to scale him up, or at least in this case. I'm sure that's a fine size. We don't actually want him here. That was just to see how it looks. We still have a bit more setup to do, so let's close out of all of these except for the main character. And under main character, under the sprite component, if we come over here to source flipbook, let's just get our idle. Character idle down. Wow, he's really small. Now let's just scale our guy up. And go to the capsule, and over here into shape, we can change the radius as well as the height. We're gonna want the collision here to be at the bottom of his feet. I'll change the scale here to 5. Because the way I want to set it up is there's a way we can make it so you can go in front of and behind objects. But to do that, under the sprite, under material, we're going to want to get translucent unlit sprite material. And if you don't have access to this, where somewhere here, there's a way to, there's a way you can make it so, yeah, view options. You're going to want to have show engine content turned on, as well as, I guess, I'm not sure what else isn't already there on base, but engine content is what holds all of these materials. So we're just going to set the translucent unlit sprite material, and we need to set up a few things before we can actually start the movement. So go to project settings, and we're going to go down here to input, and under axis mappings, we're going to start with 2 here, although we might need to do 4 depending on how the collision acts, because I've witnessed some problems, but there might be a fix for it, so we won't worry about that for now. So new axis, we're just going to call this up, down, and we're going to call this one left, right. So our keys, we need 2 keys obviously. We're going to get W and S. Unless you can also do the arrow keys as well if you want. I think it's just called up, down. And for W, we're going to be moving positive in the Z value, so that would be +1 as well as up. But for S and down, we want to be moving, obviously down, so we're going to put it as -1. And we're going to do the same thing right here for left and right. We're going to get A and D, as well as left and right. And same thing, when we're going A, we're moving to the right, which is positive. When we're going D, moving to the left, which is negative. Pretty sure. Anyways, so we have that set up. We are going to now, on the main character here, we're not going to set the flip book, we're just setting up movement. Under main character, we're going to type in axis up, down, to get the axis event, and axis left, right. And then from here, we're going to add movement input. Scale value, we're going to drag in here. And for up and down, it's going to be in the Z value. So we're going to put 1. Let's copy this over. Make sure to delete 1, because for left and right, we want it to be world direction. I mean, the X. The X, I'm stupid. So set the X to 1. And now, we're not done yet. For your world settings, just set it to be a game mode, which ours is RPG game mode. And in RPG game mode, we actually need to set our main pawn here. So the default pawn, we're going to set that to our character, which I think we just called character. No, main character, right. Whatever you named your blueprint. So now we can add in a player start here. Scale this down just because it's enormous. To make things easy on you, if we have this tile map in the 0, just put your whatever you want your player to be on the 1 in the Y, and then you just kind of put it wherever. So now if we just play in a new editor, we don't have a camera set up. Of course we don't. So we gotta do that. Forgot that they don't have cameras. Just drag this to a 90-degree angle. We don't really have to move it back because of how orthographic works, but it just gets it out of the way. I'm just going to set my orthographic to be 256. And I think it will automatically take up the thing. Wow, we are big. Also, I think I forgot to delete a number somewhere. I don't know how I managed to forget that, but okay. Yeah, we're actually a bit too big. Okay, so I just scaled them down a little bit and, redid the collision here. So let's see if this works now. No, I somehow messed up the left and right values. So I guess you want D and right, or D and left to be 1, and A to be -1. Oh, wait. Oh, it's because I'm stupid. Yeah. No, left is still -1. I don't know why I set it up like that here. So just to explain it, A, -1, D, +1. Left, -1, right, +1. Yeah, I just forgot how math works. So, there, sometimes a bug like that, that's a pretty big problem a lot of the times. So I'm just going to test. Somebody told me that if you go into the capsule collision and we look for the step height. Oh, no, it's character movement. And get the step height. Max step height, 0. He said that would fix it, and if not, I'll show you guys how to fix that in the next episode, but it's a lot of setup. It seems like it's working, though. So yeah, so we have a basic character setup. You'll notice his feet stops exactly at the collision line, and we can actually go above things. So this episode has been dragging on a little bit too long. Okay, kind of figured that was gonna happen. Episode's been dragging on a little bit too long, so I'm gonna end it here. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll try and clear it up. I know that I tend to like rush things when I do videos like this. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.